it's Julianne. I'm coming to you live from my house. I'm not at Cats Like Us right now. We are going to be connecting with Monica in a little bit from Across Lots to do a live event since she can't be in the shop to do the event. And this is all a grand experiment, so be patient with us if anything goes wrong. And let me connect to her now. It'll just be a second.
Oh.
Hey, hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I'm glad this is working so far.
Me too. It was easier than I thought. I was trying to like figure it out all morning and how to add to a story for the first time because I'm the total old lady when it comes to like I can post a picture and that's it. But yeah.
That's about where I'm at too. So this is a grand experiment for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
So since we can't do your in-store event, we're doing this live event, and unfortunately it won't be the exact same, but in a way it'll have better interactions from people.
Yeah.
And if anyone has any questions along the way, they can just ask away, I guess, message away.
Yeah, message, DM, Facebook, it's fine. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we are doing a giveaway for this little purse here. We're going to do that after, so we'll figure out all the people that have joined the event, and then we'll do a random drawing for our little bag here.
Perfect.
So this is kind of going to be like an interview, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a couple questions that I have for you.
Okay.
That other people might have too.
Mm-hmm.
We did an interview for the Cats Like Us blog a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the questions might be similar, and if anyone out there hasn't read it, this might help. So where did the name Across Lots come from?
Across Lots came from, I knew I didn't want to have the shop my name. I wanted to do like a creative name. And so I was thinking of doing like a Victorian word or like an old timey word for something. And I came across like an article about Victorian slang, and Across Lots popped up. And what it meant was, if you have to go across lots, it's kind of like not a boundary, but like a hard time, and so it's kind of now that I think about it, it's kind of a reach. But my thought process when I initially named it was because my market is like retro people, goths, punks, people who have their own sense of style and they're not really in the mainstream. We're often given a lot of crap about it. So that's where the name came from, was just kind of, dealing with that. I don't know.
Yeah, people that are different from the norm and the tough times they have sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. So when did you start Across Lots? How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing it since 2013. I first wanted to start making hats and hair accessories in I think like 2011-ish, whenever I took color theory. And the thing I remember most was, in addition to liking retro and Lolita fashion and whatnot, we had a color theory project where we had to we were in groups and we chose a color and we did research on the color. And I had orange, and I thought it would be quirky and funny if I just had some kind of headpiece. So I just glued an orange to a headband, and I was like, I kind of want to do more stuff like this. And then so I had it in the back of my head, but never really did anything about it until we had to do a senior show. And so I studied graphic design. So what I did was I branded everything, and that's kind of what the majority of it, that's what the show was just the branding. And then I made pieces for it to go along with everything. And so it just kind of, all came together then, and it's been ever since.
How do you feel about orange now?
It's not one of my, I didn't want that color at the project, but yeah, I don't really ever use it.
It's my favorite color, so.
It is it? Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I had orange hair a few years ago, and it's kind of getting a little bit orangey again.
I like it paired with black for Halloween and purple and green and stuff like that, but on its own, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm an orange freak, but that's a whole other story. So you said you went to school for graphic design.
Mhm.
And your name was inspired by Victorian literature. So where does your inspiration come from when you create these hair pieces?
It comes from a lot of places. I really love fashion history, and
Mhm.
so it's mostly that. My favorite is 18th century type stuff, but that's kind of hard to replicate. It's
Mhm.
easy to replicate retro and vintage things, goth stuff, punk, Lolita, anything really frilly. But I
Mhm.
also I don't know if anybody saw the headband with the Greek text on it. I want to
Okay.
um, start doing more like graphic type pieces. So I think that's my next thing. But yeah,
Do you
graphic
think you're
design.
gonna
Sorry.
do you think you're gonna print your own fabric?
I would love to do that. I looked up spoon flour and whatnot. At the time, it seemed like I don't remember if people were wishy-washy on the quality. I'd have to just do some samples and see where I could do. But yes, I would love to.
Yeah, I feel like that's your next direction is to print your own fabric and make
Yeah.
your own, start from scratch. Now I know a lot of your pieces repurpose vintage things.
Hmm.
Where do you source fabric and for reuse, things like that? Is it just everywhere here and there?
Um, estate sales, vintage, and like antique shops,
Mhm.
Etsy sometimes, and sometimes my dad ends up with really cool stuff secondhand, like he and thrifting because he thrifts a lot.
Mhm.
So yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, my parents do that too. I feel like they have more time than I do.
Yeah, my dad's retired now, so he's always like
Yeah.
finding. It's like, do you need this? Like maybe sometimes. Yeah.
So, can we see your studio?
Yes. That's, sorry, I got a call. Um,
Oh,
it's not Pinteresty. It's not fun. It's really boring. So, but
that's all right.
so that was the kitchen. So this is my studio. That's a top shelf. There's a top shelf too. There's feathers. That the purple ones were an old, like burlesque fan that was beyond repair, which I got
Okay.
in sale years ago. There's some vintage uh, velvet tubing. There's wall so just supplies, fabric, tons of
Hmm.
stuff.
What's your favorite thing to work with?
I love working with velvet. Um,
Okay.
yeah, hmm it's fun. I
Velvet
love.
fabric, velvet ribbon,
I'm sorry.
velvet fabric or velvet ribbon or all velvet?
Velvet fabric and velvet ribbon, yeah, for sure. I just love the sumptuousness and the softness and just the look.
Hmm.
Although it is my least favorite thing to photograph, that's for sure.
Yeah,
But
it doesn't look like much. Yeah. Even with our vintage dresses that are velvet, it just looks like a black blob. You can never see the details in it.
it does even in like, and I like to use gem tones, so I guess it's
Hmm.
basically the nature of that. But it just sucks all of the light, and you can't really get any detail. But
Yeah. Yeah. Or it's all linty. You can see all the lint and all the little
yes, yeah,
pieces
I know.
in there. So tell us what you have for sale today.
Okay, follow me.
Let's talk about the headband you have on.
This one was kind of like a prototype. I have a similar one for sale.
Mhm.
The pearls are slightly different, but okay. So, well, I guess I'll start here with the similar headband. This is velvet headband with
Mhm.
pearls, and
Mhm.
then this is the same thing, but this fabric is vintage. This is not.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and so okay, here is a new hat. We're doing hats now. Brimmed
I see.
hats, vintage. Hmm?
I saw that when you posted the
Yeah,
picture of it earlier.
yeah. This is another piece that has vintage pieces. The flowers and the leaves are vintage. I don't know about the date. Maybe the 50s. I'm not sure. And then
Okay.
this has velvet ribbon. I don't remember if that's vintage or not. And then Swarovski crystals.
Mhm.
Have another hat, another velvety hat.
Oh, we have somebody asking to see the spiked headbands.
Oh, okay. Which ones? The turbans or the
I think
plain?
the headbands. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, I can do both. That's fine. So these are turban knot styles. They have combs in them, so they stay in your hair.
Mm-hmm.
This is like a satiny fabric, and we
Mm-hmm.
have three colors: black, purple, and like a wine red, like a not burgundy, but a deep red.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, the light's kind of
That's all right.
full.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know the
have to
word for
say,
it
I
right
have
now.
to. Oh,
Washing it out. Sorry. And then this is the other studded headband. It's just a
mm-hmm.
single row of studs.
Mm-hmm.
So
Now, I have a bunch of your headbands, and I like them because they don't squish my head. They're pretty flexible, but they stay in place.
good.
Um, I know I've told you this before. That's why I like them because they stay where I want them to
Good.
without digging into the back of my head. Like sometimes they dig in behind your ears and stuff, but yours are very comfortable. So now I know we have more things to look at. How can someone purchase something from you?
Okay, so there are some things that are already on the Etsy. All of the
Mhm.
numbered items are the new things that are not on the Etsy yet. So if you see
Oh,
something
that's
that
a lot.
have a number, I'm sorry.
That's a lot then.
Yeah, I have about 19 new items. Some of them do have a double, have like a. There's more than one. Um,
Multiple.
But yeah, if there isn't a number assigned to a piece, that means it's already on the Etsy. As far as if anybody wanted a new piece, just you can DM me or message me the number um, and your email address, and we can get the ball rolling with like payment, shipping, whatnot.
Yeah. So, you're in Buffalo?
Yeah, Kenmore. Mm-hmm.
Would
Yes, ma'am.
people be able to pick up from you, or are you just strictly shipping?
Um, if they wanted to, they could pick up. Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
Like hands-free distance pickup kind of
Yeah,
thing?
yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. I would probably put it in like a box and depending on the weather, a bag, nice bag, and
Okay.
put it on the porch or whatnot.
Okay. And can we see more of your items?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I guess the next new thing would be this sapphire blue velvet hair comb with the
Hmm.
bats.
Okay. Yeah,
And
I
that's
did see
new.
you post those.
I'm sorry?
I saw you post those.
Yeah, I posted most of the new stuff. I think there's maybe a couple things I didn't. That one's kind of a companion to this.
Mhm.
And then I'm doing the coffins a bit differently now. I'm not doing like the big poof of veiling. I'm just keeping it a little simple. It's this little guy here. There's also a
Mhm.
comb. I like to put
Mhm.
combs and everything so it actually stays on your head. And this has lace edging, some Swarovskis, um, faceted beads, and the leaves are vintage. The flowers aren't, but the leaves are.
So now those are attached to an elastic?
Yes.
Okay.
I stopped putting them on headbands because I found that sometimes um, for whatever reason, despite how many layers of stiffener I put, they would kind of get warped a little bit. So I stopped
Okay.
putting headbands. If somebody wanted, if they were like, I don't care about that, and I need it on a headband, I could do that. But just
Mhm.
for quality's sake, I was just kind of changed direction there.
Mhm. Sounds good.
Um, okay, and then we have some bone stuff. I'll get that in a minute. I was looking through a lot of Victorian fashion plates, costume plates, and just kind of came up with this thing. It's just a simple bow. It can be worn vertically or horizontally. Just emerald
Can we
velvet.
see the back of it?
I'm sorry.
Can we see the back of it?
Oh yeah, sure.
It's kind of hard to see on the dark fabric, that's all.
No problem. So there's some Swarovskis there, and then it's a
Ah.
clip. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
you can do it this way or that way. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then so we have some bone pieces again. For the longest time, I couldn't get them. Like when I originally bought them, I bought them from the Museum of Osteology in Oklahoma. My
Mm-hmm.
sister-in-law lived down there, and so we visited. And I bought a bunch, but I haven't been able to find those bones since. So there was just a couple years that we were kind of boneless. until now. But
Okay.
yeah, so this one's a bit different from the other velvet ones. Just a sheer fabric there. It's kind of textured. I don't know if it could focus. You could see kind of like the lines.
Yeah.
But it's kind of fun. And then just like a bone and some studs. And this is also a clip.
Yeah, I have one of your bone headbands that you did a while ago, and it's one of my favorites just because it goes with everything.
Yeah, awesome. I'm glad.
I feel like bones are a neutral.
Yeah, they really are, though. They are. And I try to kind of like piggybacking on what I said earlier on how we kind of get flack for dressing a little different. I was trying to like make these bone pieces in a way where no one could call you, because I know like people are like, oh, Morticia. I didn't want anyone to call anyone like Pebbles or Bam Bam, so I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I get these to look nice and not weird. But
Although I am wearing animal print today, I could probably use a bone right here. But
well, I mean, that'd be cute for sure. But all right, so another bone piece is this nice velvet bow. It's comb with veiling and Swarovskis. This is similar in design, just scarlet red with red Swarovskis. This one just has studs and spikes. This one's kind of fun. Like that one.
That one's a nice neutral too. Spikes go with everything.
Yeah, they really do, and I think I'm going to buy more of those spikes. Here's another velvet bone piece with the Swarovskis.
I'm glad they're doing the bone pieces again because I feel like no one's really doing that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I did.
I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, you're fine.
Where are you sourcing them from now? Is it the same place or somewhere else?
It's not. I did contact them to see if they had like the same bones, and they said no. There's kind of like a one-off situation, which I understand given the nature of that. I sourced them from. I've gotten them from the Bone Room. I try to source them from museums and museums with a gift shop and whatnot, and what hopefully are reputable sources. I have gotten some on Etsy by people who say that everything is cruelty free. Crossing our fingers, that's definitely true. But yeah.
So they're real bone.
Yes, in short, yes.
Okay.
And then so there's one other bone piece. You have some crossed bones here. They're kind of just peeking out with some flowers and beads, and the leaves here are vintage. This attaches to your head with combs here on either side. All right. So next we have another velvet turban headband with veiling and a couple Swarovskis. I like a little bit of sparkle. I don't like anything too plain, and I don't like anything too, I don't know, crazy, ostentatious. But
and those are black Swarovskis?
Yes. Yep. I love doing tonal stuff, black on black. So a little sparkle there. You turn your head and whatnot. What else? This was the Lorem Ipsum one I was talking about, and I kind of want to do more things. I think this kind of thing would be fun during Christmas if I could find some, like, obviously royalty-free, Christmas carols. I could put them on here instead of, for those who want to do like a Christmassy thing but don't want it too obvious. I think that'd be fun. Anyway, so that's cool. Yeah, so it just has the black on black type.
Now, can you explain to people what the type is?
Yes, Lorem Ipsum is what's called. It's called Greek text, and it's used in graphic design and type as like a placeholder text. If you're not sure what the client is going to be putting there quite yet, you just put the words there to when you send off a proof and whatnot, so that the client can actually see what it'll look like with type.
Yeah, it's like a filler.
Like a placeholder? Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh. Yeah. All right. So next we have the new floral pieces. This is a real feel flower. I really like the shades of pink and hair, shades intense, with some vintage leaves here. And this holds onto your hair with 2 clips here.
Now, something like that, I have a lot of very thin hair.
Mhm.
Is it heavy or is it a
Uh,
little bit lighter?
this one, this one. See, I'm not sure because I have thick hair, so I'm trying to imagine what it would be like on thin hair. It
Yeah.
should be okay. I wouldn't recommend like a big thing like this. Actually, these are
Mhm.
kind of the same way. This is actually a little bit heavier. I'm not sure why.
I would probably pick that number 10 because it's a little bit flatter. So I feel like if I did
Yes.
my hair and it was close to my head, it wouldn't weigh it down. So
Hmm.
I feel like that one would almost be better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then so we have this guy also two clips because I feel like
Hmm.
one isn't enough.
Yeah.
Um, and this is just like a nice pink peachy palette here with some little veiling along the side and some vintage velvet leaves. And then this is the same concept, but blue.
Okay. Very nice.
And then,
Now, I do have a question going back to the headbands.
yes,
Calling them turban headbands, is it because of the knot in front that makes them the turban style?
I believe so. Yes, I've seen that when I research for inspiration and just in general, they're always called that. Um,
Hmm.
I think it's due to the knot in front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
No problem. And then the last new piece is this is one that has a double, or more than one available, I should say. And this is just like a nice peachy color.
Hmm.
Swarovskis and Swarovskis on the very tip of the leaves, and this adheres to your hair or attaches whatever with a comb or not a comb, right part
But
clip.
hmm.
Yeah, and so that's that for the new pieces.
Okay. Can we see some of the old pieces?
Yeah, sure.
I have one of them
Um,
in here.
yes, I have. I have a bunch of those. Those are all on Etsy. I don't have any new versions of anything, but we have some pink on pink. Um, one one that you're wearing, but with feathers, which are
Yeah,
fun.
I kind of like it because it's pretty lightweight
Yeah,
and you could just wear it like a barrette. So it's really easy to wear.
perfect.
And I like that it looks kind of deco-y.
That's what I was going for.
Mhm.
I wanted to do something deco, but graphic again with the graphic
Mhm.
design in my brain, um, and not. I feel like, and this is fine, but I feel like a lot of people when they think of 20s and deco, they go right for like the little
The headband.
called the headband that goes directly with the
Mhm.
feather. I know I'm using feathers, but um, I wanted to do something a little different.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's inspired by deco, but I mean, it's timeless. So
Perfect. Thank you.
I'm wearing it with animal print. So
Yeah, and it's awesome actually. It looks really good. Um, yeah. So
I did my hair today.
me too. Me too. I haven't done my hair or makeup in probably since the quarantine started.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah. Okay. So older things.
Yeah.
This
What
one is.
else?
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
No, I said what else?
Oh, sorry. We have this is the last one that I have, but I can make more of that. Should anybody want one? But we have this nice fun Halloween headband. I think this and the black studded turban seem to be a bestseller, so that's cool.
Okay.
Uh,
And how can people order them again? Just to remind everyone.
sure. So the pieces that don't have numbers attached to them are already on Etsy. So you can purchase it through Etsy. And for the pieces that do have a number, those are new. They're not on Etsy yet. So you can just email me or DM me, Facebook message me, and we'll get the ball rolling with payment and how if you need me to ship it or if you want to pick it up if you're local.
And what is your Etsy store?
It's Across Lots on Etsy, and my email address is acrosslots@gmail.com.
Okay. Oh, we have somebody that's chiming in that's saying that your headbands are very comfortable.
Oh, good, good.
Thank you, Andrea, for that.
That's good to know. I'm always happy about that because I know how headbands are not polarizing, but like they hurt a lot of people's heads, and they so I'm glad that mine are comfortable.
Well, yeah, because, I'll do my hair in the morning, I'll put a headband on, and I'm at work, owning a business. I might be at work for 12 hours. And,
Yeah.
some of my old headbands I have to take off because they dig in, but
Mhm.
I could just leave yours on all the time.
Good. Awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So what are some of the older pieces that you
Oh,
wanted to feature?
um, I don't know if anybody saw what I posted earlier, but I don't have much space on this table. So, some of the things that I was able to fit were this other coffin one. It's like lime, almost neon green. Coffin with the same lace edging as the other one.
Oh,
And
someone's asking if you're easy to find on Facebook. Yes.
I, yeah, yes,
Facebook.
I'm sorry. Sorry, I was talking.
Across Lots does have a Facebook page.
Yes,
And if
yeah.
you're on our event page at all on Facebook, we have a link to it.
Mhm.
And Andrea is also saying your headbands work with glasses as well.
Oh, awesome. Good to know. Thanks. Perfect. All right. And yeah, this guy's just got a bat with some sparkly Swarovskis on the bat and then on the top and bottom.
Yeah, the crystals are a little hard to see just because a lot of them are black on black.
Yeah, they're hard to photograph for sure, which is kind of like a good thing uh, that I can show this on the live, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, and there's a bit of like better communication. I can't remember what the words you used were, but
Well, there's
yeah.
pros and cons.
Yeah. Um, and then here's like a little tombstone guy with sequins edged all around him, and then some Swarovski skulls and more sequins to kind of suggest type. Um, what else? What else? We have this bow. I've been watching a lot of runway shows lately, and I noticed that some designers, I don't remember which ones, but they have a lot of like with the couture shows they have a lot of beading. So I kind of did my take on it on a little bow here, velvet with these are all hand stitched beads
Oh,
and sequins and pearl montes and whatnot. And
like
this is
little, yeah, like little cluster rhinestone things.
yeah. I would love to make one where it's just full of it, but
Mm-hmm.
that would be so. I don't think anybody would buy it because it'd be so expensive. So
Now, from owning a bunch of your pieces, I know that a lot of them are not glued, they're hand stitched.
a lot of stuff is all hand stitched. Yes, I don't use a whole lot of glue.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just find I'm paranoid that things are just going to fall apart, and
Yeah.
sometimes I don't like worrying about people seeing glue blobs or whatnot.
Yeah. That's one of the things I like too, because I feel like your pieces are pretty sturdy. Sometimes you get a piece and it's kind of loose and
Hmm.
doesn't feel good quality, like good quality.
Yeah.
Um, but I feel like they're pretty solid, you know?
Hmm. Sometimes I'll use glue or adhesive just to keep things kind of tacked down, and
Mm-hmm.
before I stitch them, like with these. Oh my gosh, with these, I will glue them down a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
just so that they're on there for when I go to stitch them all one by one. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because otherwise they'd be all over the place and it'd be really difficult to stitch them on there. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Can you go back to some of the headbands from the beginning with the spiky one?
Yes.
What's next to the spiky? Oh, the one below it, just
Hmm.
the spikes.
The pearl guys.
The pearls, and then you have the spikes, and then the one next to that.
Oh yeah, this
Is
is
it?
like a Hearst Landau bar,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know. They
Is it?
have
Is that something you printed yourself?
I have a Cricut, so yeah, I made the that's how I made the Lorem Ipsum one too. I uh, kind of used a bunch of reference photos for this and just kind of made one that made sense to the um, basically how much space I had on this and
Mm-hmm.
what angles I could use and whatnot. So I just kind of like designed that and then cut it out on the Cricut and ironed it onto the fabric. And then each side has a bar.
Mm-hmm.
I did those for the
Can,
her show last year. Thought that was appropriate.
can you explain where the bar came from? Like what?
I so I researched it, and I don't remember the full story, but I do remember it has something to do with 18th century carriages or coaches, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now they're purely cosmetic, but I don't remember what their actual use was back then or if there was a use, but now they're purely just cosmetic and make a hearse recognizable as a hearse.
Yeah, our customer Lori, she says they're very Hearst inspired.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you said people can contact you about purchase via Instagram DM, Facebook DM, any other way, Etsy.
Etsy, yeah, sure. Etsy for sure. Etsy Messenger, whatever
Mm-hmm.
they call it. I don't think they have a specific thing they call it, but yeah, through Etsy. And then email, you can email me at acrosslots@gmail.com.
Okay. And is there anything else that you wanted to include? Do you want to go over all the pieces again with the numbers?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can go through all the new pieces here that aren't on Etsy yet. So this is a new brimmed hat that we have. I finally got a hat block, so that's fun. So this one has vintage. It's okay. Hold on. It's wool felt, and it has a velvet ribbon all the way around, and then it has on the side these nice black velvet vintage velvet flowers and leaves, and then it has a smattering of Swarovski crystals.
Mm-hmm.
And this attaches to the head with a with Petersham ribbon, and I use bobby pins to keep it down still.
Mm-hmm.
The inside is lined, so
We do have a customer asking if your things, if they don't sell right away, will be available on your Etsy page.
yes, within the week or so.
Okay, good to
Probably,
know.
yeah, probably within the next couple of days, but I'll just say a week just to cover myself. Uh,
Well, I imagine you're going to sell out of everything as soon as this
well,
is over with. So,
one hopes. Here's the other hat we have. The side is turned up.
mm-hmm.
There is a plume feathers. This one also has a velvet ribbon all the way around, and it also attaches to the head with a Petersham ribbon that you can use bobby pins for. This is also lined. I do want to note something, just
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be honest. These hats are the first one I kept for myself. These are the second and third, so they are more second quality. Second quality means they are perfectly fine, but
Mm-hmm.
there's a couple of cosmetic things. And the most notable thing I just want to make people aware of, if they care, the brim is supposed to be perfect 90 degrees from the crown. And because I'm still kind of a noob, they're not perfectly 90 degrees. I don't know what degree they are, but yeah.
Well, I feel like when you wear something, you can completely make it your own. So if people don't want to wear it at 90 degrees, that's okay.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I mean, I would have never known that had you not said it.
I know it's just something that I see and I know, and other milliners would know. But I still wanted to disclose that just for my
Yeah.
conscience, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I feel like hairstyles are very different now. So you would wear the hat around your hair kind of thing.
Yeah. So
So
you
that
wouldn't be
is,
like clocking, oh, it's not 90 degrees, but whatever.
Mhm. Oh, someone says that they're very proud of you for getting into hat making.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I
You've
wanted
always been, you've always sort of done hats though. I mean,
I've always done like little blocks. Oh my gosh, I'm like with this with the arrow and the turning. I've always done little little cocktail things like this.
mhm,
My dad can make anything from wood, so he made me little coffin blocks and
mhm.
a little tombstone. But these are more like cocktail type of things, little hair accessories. But I've always wanted to get into actual hat making. But
Mhm.
some of the things are a little bit cost prohibitive at first, so it wasn't until about now that I could get a block and start actually like blocking hats and doing that whole process. So,
We
like,
do have a customer asking what number 14 is.
oh yeah, 14 is. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, guys.
No, you're fine.
See, right up my nose and my imperfect makeup. Okay, so this is just a turban style headband. Again, turban I think just is the because of the knot. Um, This is like a nice soft velvet with veiling, black veiling and black Swarovski crystals um, throughout
Mhm.
for a little bit of added sparkle there. And
Well, oh, sorry.
no, you're fine. There's just combs in here so that it stays on your head. Because sometimes, like, cotton isn't too slippery, but I find, at least on my hair, even though it's thick, that sometimes, like, they still creep up the back of your head. And then it
Mhm.
starts looking like a weird crown instead of
Mhm.
a headband. So I just
Yeah.
add combs into everything just to be sure.
Yeah. Um, there was something I was going to ask you and now I forgot.
Sorry.
Never mind. It was here and then it was there.
Oh, sorry.
No, no, you're fine. Um, okay, so people can message you. How is the pricing on your items?
They run the gamut. There's
Mhm.
things for $10. There's stuff for 15, 20. The most expensive pieces I have are the hats, which
Mhm.
because they're second quality, I have deeply discounted. I think I put them at $80 each. I think
Mhm.
the most expensive thing I have is, if anyone's seen it in the Etsy shop, the um, cemetery tombstone death's head inspired headband, and
Mhm.
I think it's like 92. That one,
Mhm.
and there is another. Now that I'm thinking of it, there's another cemetery inspired little cocktail hat with like moss, and there is like the little tombstone guy that I showed you guys. There is one in the hat.
Mhm.
That one is also around $90, I think. But I pretty much run, whatever your budget is. There should be something here for you.
And you completely make the hats from scratch?
Yes. The only thing I don't do is weave fabric, really.
Yeah. So I'm going to do a shout out to all the people watching. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions about some of the numbers that she showed off, some of the items? Um, does anyone out there in the world have questions for Monica while she has your attention? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller?
Bueller.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
awesome.
do have a customer that said that they love your cocktail hats. They wore one to a wedding last year.
Perfect.
Yeah. I do have to say your cocktail hats are very cute.
Thank you.
I like that your things aren't, like you said earlier, they're not like super gothy.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like they're very wearable and it's a good combination of sort of a classic style with a bit of an edge to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Perfect way
that.
of putting it. Yeah. Mhm.
And people are saying they have things that they want.
Awesome. Perfect.
So, with the items that you showed today, you said that some of them have multiples.
Oh, I'm sorry. Some of them have what?
Multiples, so you have more than one quantity of some of them.
Yes. Let me see here. So this number three has a double. Well, not a double, but
Mhm.
more than one available.
That's fine.
Um, This flower has more than one available, and there was this coffin. There are two of these guys.
Okay.
Everything else, it has it's like a one-off, one-of-a-kind type thing, but there are some things that I can replicate. Like I can replicate all of these headbands here. So, yeah.
Do you find that your headbands are very popular?
I do. Ever since I started making the turban knot style, people really like those. I remember seeing them on, I don't remember if it was the runway, but I've seen them, I don't know, maybe in just my subconscious scrolling through fashion things and Pinterest. And noticed that a lot of them were not niche enough. I don't know. They're not spooky enough. I wanted to put my take on it. I wanted to put fun. Oh my gosh, I keep doing this with my face. I wanted to put pearls on them, and use vintage fabric, and then I wanted to put studs. I hadn't seen studs, and I thought that would be cool, and that would kind of, make an outfit, just that more fun, or, put an edge on something that's not really edgy. And then, like, obviously the Halloween fabric, that's fun. And just, veiling, kind of dress it up, make it fun. It's something that, because I've heard in the past, which is fine, I get it. A lot of my stuff was too fancy, or not in a bad way, but like basically what people were saying, that they don't have anything fancy enough to wear with it. So I was like, how can I make something that's fun, that would liven up an outfit, but not be too fancy, or, something a little bit more casual, but not too casual. I don't know. And I really enjoy making these, and people seem to enjoy wearing them. So.
Well, I have to say, headbands have been coming in handy right now during the quarantine because my hair is a mess.
Mine is too. I don't know. Mine is red normally, like a nice bright copper red, like Joni from Mad Men. She was actually my inspiration to dye my hair that color. But you can probably see my roots are saying hello. But my bangs are a hot mess. They're like down here, and I refuse to cut them because I've cut them myself before, and it ended in a partial tragedy. So I just kind of stuff them behind the turban head. And I don't know what it looks like from the back, but from the front, you don't even know.
Yeah. I don't know what the back looks like, but
yeah,
it's all right, I think.
Yeah, you look fine.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, I think, is there anything else that you would like to add?
Not now. I'm sure I'll think of something in like an hour, but right now, I think we're good. If anyone has any questions, feel free to contact me. I want to Cats Like Us for sure. This is awesome. Thank you guys so much for this opportunity and working with me and doing this online. Yeah.
Well, thank you for working with us.
Yeah, I love working.
This is a complete experiment. So, and I'm coming to you live from my house, which is a little bit weird. You can see I call it my Easy Bake Oven right there on the wall. It's so tiny, I can't fit anything in it. I can
really?
never cook in it. Yeah, I hate it. It's horrible. It's a Brady Bunch oven built into the wall, and it's so tiny. I had to buy special pans for it because normal size pans don't fit.
So weird. How old is it? Is it like 70s or?
Yeah, it's 70s. It's avocado green. Yeah.
It looks cool, but
thanks.
If you can't really cook in it, that's a bummer.
Yeah. Well, it's tiny things. I can cook tiny things. Again, if anybody wants to purchase from Monica, be sure to direct message her. You could direct message Across Lots on Facebook, on Instagram, on Etsy. She has an Etsy page, Across Lots. And I also just wanted to take a minute to say thank you to everybody that's joined us. Thank you for continuing to shop at catslikeus.com. We still are getting online orders, and we're processing them as fast as we can. And we do distance pickup too. If you didn't want to pay for shipping and you're local and you want to pick up at the shop, I'm at the shop almost every day. So we can always schedule a time for a pickup. And we appreciate everyone that's continuing to shop with us. Thank you, essential employees, because without you, I don't know where we'd all be. Thank you, Monica, for taking time out of your Saturday, and it is a nice day out today.
I know. Remember
And,
when last year was totally miserable, and of course it figures this time around the weather's gorgeous, but whatever. That happens.
well,
Buffalo in the springtime.
you never know. We might have done an in-store event today, and it was so nice out. Everybody would be gardening, and no one would be in the store. So,
True. True.
yeah.
Goes both ways. But yes, thank
So,
you everybody for shopping small too in these
thanks.
times.
Um, and we have our first giveaway. So we'll
Yes.
be doing that after that, and hopefully we figured out a way to capture this information for everybody that we could share it to Facebook later on. And we are going to continue to promote this event. If you're on our email newsletter, if you're not, please join the Cats Like Us email newsletter. We'll have a follow-up to this included next week in the newsletter. And it's the best way to be notified of sales and new products and restocks and any sort of events like this that we'll have going on. And I think that's it. I don't know if there's anything else I should add. Oh, Andrew's messaging me. Let me see. And I think that's it. I don't think we have anything to include. So I guess that's everything. And thank you everyone for joining us. Have a
Yeah,
good
thank you.
Saturday. Thank you for shopping small and watching this and watching our experiment. And that's about it. So we'll see you later, Monica. Thank you. I hope you get a lot of sales from this.
Thank you. Oh, so
Okay.
too.
Take care.
You too. Thank you.
Please message Monica or Crosslots on Facebook or Instagram or on her Etsy page, Crosslots. And until next time, thank you for joining us. Take care. Bye-bye.